Hi North Haven, this video is going to cover the basics of running a classroom meet. There are some videos after this one in the playlist that cover some just specific skills, but this is going to go over a couple of them, so it might be a little longer. So once you are in your meet and your students are in your meet, we have a couple different options, and they're in different places. The first thing to know about are the host controls, which are down here on the left. It's this blue shield with the white lock. In here, you can turn off quick access, so the only people that'll probably need this for teaching are the K through 2 students, the K through 2 teachers that are using calendar links. And what this does is if you've chosen to invite all of your students in the calendar event, if anyone tries to join that isn't logged in as one of your students, it will put them in a waiting room and you'll have to approve them before they can come into the meet with that link. So it just adds an extra layer of security into your meet. And to make the waiting room work, you actually turn the toggle off. So it defaults to anyone can join if they have the link, and then if you turn this off, it creates that waiting room for people that don't have or haven't been invited to ask to be allowed to join. You also have share their screen and send chat messages for the students. And so if you turn these toggles off, then it means that students can't share their screen or send chat messages. So they can't talk about things with each other in the chat that aren't related to class, and they also can't try and take over the screen. Now, the only thing with this then is, of course, students will not be able to use the chat to ask questions. So if you do want to let them use it sometimes, but you're worried that they might get off task if you're going over instructions, what you can do is if you open this chat up over here on the right, this is where you access the chat and can see the chat. You can leave it open and kind of moderate it, but also you can have it off, and then when it's time for students to ask questions or share responses, you can turn it on, and then they can use the chat. Another option over here from the host control is to view all host settings. And in here, it's the same options for host controls, but it also opens your main settings. So if you come up to audio, a nice little feature is this noise cancellation. And what this is going to do is it'll filter out some of the background noise wherever you are and focus on what you're saying. If you have a parent or a student who's having a hard time finding the link in Seesaw for some reason, or who can't get into Seesaw, you can click this up arrow and you can copy and paste this link right here into an email and send it to them, and that should help them get access. Other options up here, we talked about chat. You can click the show everyone, and from here you can access your host controls again. You can also add people. If a student is being disruptive, you can remove them from the meeting. The other option you have now with these shapes is breakout rooms. So if you click breakout rooms, it will automatically default to creating breakout rooms with students in them, and you can click and drag the students into different breakout rooms. You can also choose a random shuffle and just hit that a couple of times. You can create more breakout rooms if you need more groups or less, and you can also clear them and then click and drag them yourself like this. When you're ready for everyone to go into the breakout room, you can click create, and then what happens? This is Hermione, the student's view. They'll get a pop-out that says join a breakout room. It tells them what room they're going into, and it gives them the option to join. And then when they join, it sends them to that room. And you'll see now in the main screen that student's no longer in the main room because they've gone into the other room. You'll also notice over here, you can see that this student is in that breakout room while these two students haven't moved over yet. If you want to go back and forth between the breakout rooms, you just click join. And it will send you into those breakout rooms, so that you can check on what the students are doing. And then if you want to, if you just click leave, it'll put you back to the main room. When you're done, you can click end breakout rooms. From there, the students, this is Hermione again, will get a pop-up saying breakout rooms are ending and that they need to return to the main room, and they click return, and that's going to bring them back to the main room. Down here at the bottom, you have your options menu. From here, you can open a Jamboard, which is a digital whiteboard, and it lets you and the students work on things collaboratively together. You can also record the meeting from here. You can change the layout. We now have the ability to increase the number of tiles that are available for us to see. Just know that if all the students have their cameras on, that may or may not cause issues with your computer or their computers to have so many tiles open. So you can try and use it, but you might need to go back down. Other options in here are full screen, which just makes the whole thing bigger. And then your settings menu, which we already showed from the host controls, but this is another way to access the settings menu. To present your screen, click Present Now. From here, you can choose a Chrome tab, a window, or your entire screen. If you want to be able to see your students while you're presenting, then a window or a Chrome tab is going to be best. The Chrome tab is supposed to work well for videos if you want to share videos with your students, but we haven't had a lot of success with it. Definitely try it if you want to and see if you can get it to work for you, but it doesn't always function, and just be prepared for that. Just a note about windows versus tabs. This is a window. Any program that you run on your computer is going to open in a window, so it could be Word, it could be Chrome or Firefox. And then something kind of unique about browsers is that you have these tabs within the browser, and these are just your tabs. So when I'm sharing just a tab, I get to choose which tab I'm going to show and then share that tab. It will let you know that you're sharing the tab and give you the option to stop sharing. It also, you can tell which tab you're sharing because it has this blue rectangle at the top. Now, if I go to a different tab, it's going to let me know that I'm not sharing this tab, and if I want to, I can share this tab instead by clicking this button, or I can stop sharing altogether, because right now the students can't see this. What they're seeing is this one. And notice that if I click share this tab instead, then I've got the blue rectangle over here. You'll also notice that when I'm presenting in my students, I can see that I'm presenting to everyone instead of where my icon would be. And see how the presentation audio is on? That only works with the tab sharing, which is why it is supposed to work for videos. Another option for presenting is windows. If I choose select a window, and then I can choose which window and click share. And now, so it'll tell me at the bottom that I'm sharing a window. It gives me the option to stop sharing. And if this is in the way, I can click hide to get rid of it. You always want to make sure you hit hide and not stop sharing. Now I can click on any of these tabs and my students will be able to see that tab. To stop presenting, click You Are Presenting and click Stop Presenting. The last option is to share your entire screen. It will give you, you'll probably only have one screen. I have two displays, that's why I have two images. Even if you only have one screen, you're going to have to click on one in order to make the share button show up. Then click the share button. And now I'm showing my whole screen to my students. It will let me know at the bottom that I'm sharing my screen, and I can either stop sharing or hide from here. And that's another way to stop sharing instead of coming to present now or you are presenting and clicking stop sharing. So those are all the tools in Google Meet, and when you're done, you just click the leave call and the meeting is over.